Hey guys, MC3GTV here. We're here to talk about Raw. Of course, it just finished, so let's get right into it. First of all, I want to say I didn't expect a whole lot from this Raw, just because I know Saturday they've got a pretty big show coming. So I figured it wasn't going to be too crazy. But I wasn't blown away but I also wasn't expecting too much. Next week we have the World Tag Team Championship match. I think that'll be pretty cool, but we're also super close to the Royal Rumble, so I'm really excited for what's coming these next couple weekends. And I think this week and next week's Raw, not really a lot of major development happened. But still finalizing things. The show's open, I think, was really good. Solid start. Jay versus Gunther, I think, is one of those that they're giving it these little bits, and it's nothing insane, but I think it's still worth having those little back and forth things to prove each of their point. Like, Jay has the hype for sure, but Gunther's not wrong. He's acting a fool out there, man. It's not for me. I'd rather have a champion like Gunther who just gets the business, and it's not all about flashy and all that, you know. But you know, that's just me. I guess most people would say old school or whatever, but I don't like to say old school. I prefer a champion to be more than just flashiness. And it's not that Jay is not a good wrestler. He's a great wrestler. He's proven that. I mean, he wouldn't still be around if he wasn't. And I've got to say, Kofi and Xavier Woods, they're knocking it out of the park with this heel turn. This is something that I think a lot of people wanted for a long time, and it makes sense for Big E to not have to be a part of that. I would love to see him come back on the Royal Rumble. I think if any other time, it'll be at the Royal Rumble, and it's gonna blow everyone's freaking mind. But we'll see how that goes. The Kofi and Ray match, it was pretty solid. I figured that it wasn't going to be like a crazy drastic ending just because Ray is very well protected. He pretty much always has been, I think. John Cena is one of the only people that I've ever seen really like just beat him like. But really, I think it was pretty good match. Those two, they always know how to keep a little bit of excitement in the room, you know. They're veterans. They know what they're doing. And like I was saying, I really love them as heels, and how their Kofi and Xavier are really pushing for that like top level heat. I'm just looking at my notes here. Oh my gosh. Next we had Sammy and Kevin. This, I feel like, is an interesting talking point that more people should probably be thinking about, because the minute that Kevin and Sammy were together like that, I had a feeling like we could potentially see Kevin Owens' last match. And I say that because, for one, he's getting a little bit older. And he's someone that has said he wants to do it like a cowboy riding off in the sunset. He doesn't want a big, flashy, showy thing. But I think that's the perfect way to do it, is have that final match with Sami Zayn for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Have him lose it, and then never wrestle again, and just be quiet about it. No one ever say anything. Just go away. Not in a bad way. We love Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, since I first discovered him, right around the time he started going into NXT and stuff, I saw a lot of different stuff from his indie work, and oh my goodness, I've just loved Kevin Owens ever since. The Kevin Steen, that's like that's really great stuff. If y'all ever get a chance, go back and watch all his old work. It's all really solid. I know people who like to dog on indie work, but such good stuff. I had a feeling too when Kevin went out there. I had a feeling that they were gonna work out some kind of a match at WrestleMania. But I would absolutely love for Sami Zayn to win the Royal Rumble. But I have a feeling it's gonna be one of them is gonna cause, like, Sami potentially isn't gonna show up to help him, right? To defeat Cody Rhodes. The ladder match at the Royal Rumble. Oh my goodness, a ladder match. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens in a ladder match is going to be insane. But I really don't think that Sami's going to help him. And I really think Sami is going to be the one that costs Kevin a second go. Like, I don't know what. It depends on how they structure it. Because if they do the ladder match first, Kevin Owens can potentially try again, make it to the very, very end, and then lose to Sami Zayn. And be like, he lost his opportunity to have that final WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. And he could say that it was Sami being selfish, trying to make sure that he secured it for himself. So that's really, really, really cool. There's so many different ways that they can chop that up. I'm really, really excited for that. Dude, Sheamus had better just freaking rip Braun Breaker limb from limb. No questions asked. It needs to be a friggin' bloodbath. Give Sheamus the opportunity to freaking destroy him. Wreck his whole world. Braun Breaker has been on a pretty good streak or whatever, but he's called him an old man or whatever. Let Sheamus go in there and freaking wipe the floor with that dude. If they don't, I'll be kind of mad. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely going to be a very good match. Like, I don't think that they're going to just let Sheamus put him over, like, let Braun put him over and let Sheamus have it just like that. I think it's going to be a slugfest and one that is worth watching again. I really think that, and that's coming this Saturday, actually, at the Saturday Night's main event. It's going to be really something to see. Unlike the Bayley and Nia match, I didn't think that was much to see. No offense to Bayley, Nia, the boos speak for themselves. I'm sorry, not sorry. I'm sorry, Bayley, that you have to be put in this situation, but Bayley and Nia Jax is not something. To me, it's so many of their matches have happened, and it's like it's always a BS end. And with this one in particular, I didn't really necessarily see Nia winning it. That kind of surprised me, honestly. And then because in my opinion, I thought Rhea was going to show back up at the end before the end of the match and cost it for her. But they let Nia win so that they could set up the match for Saturday. Which that's alright, I guess. But Rhea really needs to just destroy and solidify that world championship. That she's not just like, she didn't take it off Liv for nothing, for just real quick or whatever like that. It needs to be like very decisive. Get Nia knocked out, push her out of the way, move on to something else. Big question here. Why has Becky Lynch not been around? Like, we know she got re-signed or whatever. Like, are they waiting for the Royal Rumble? If she wins it, I'm gonna be a little upset because they haven't had any kind of story, and it's just like a instant. Here's your WrestleMania spot, and it's not that I don't like Becky. I just don't think that she should get it just like that. It's just a little upsetting. Um, Pete saying everyone needs to stop calling him Butch. That's just awesome. I love that. Like I said, it's typical promo heavy Raw before the live event and everything. Kind of deflates things. I think when you bring someone to the ring, they're cutting a promo, and then you throw a whole bunch of other like ads and stuff in there with it. Like, it's all right, but they probably could have gone just before the match, and it would have been all right. Penta versus Pete. Those two are so good at like the targeting of the limbs and stuff, and like neutralizing their opponent, and then they hit these crazy moves that if someone did it to you, you would not freaking walk correctly for a very extended amount of time. Like that backbreaker when he dropped him down, oh my goodness, like that had hurt so bad. And like every one of the stomps on their fingers and the Penta's signature maneuver where he pulls their arm, man, like that would seriously damage people. Like I don't think enough credit is given for that. And then the way that he pulled off the Penta driver to finish it, beautiful. Like got him with the overhook on the leg when he dropped it down, like same time. Just awesome execution. I knew going into it, Pete Dunne versus Penta. Like when they first said it tonight, I was like, crazy. That's gonna be a good match, and it was a good match. Definitely go watch that. If nothing else in the whole show, watch that. That was worth the show, in my opinion. And I'm not entirely certain what the whole tag team with Damage Control, like, I don't know if they know fully what they're doing with that right this minute. I think they're trying to lead it into WrestleMania, kind of, but I think that was more for building with the other championships and stuff. We'll see how that comes, like, closer to WrestleMania. I just don't feel like there's a lot of heat on it right now. And it's like they kind of made the Damage Control win, like, oh, Damage Control won, oh my gosh. Which kind of weirds me, like, their Damage Control. Like, Dakota was literally just in the first ever Women's Intercontinental Championship match last week. Why is it surprising that she would win a tag team match with Io Sky, of all people, who's a really great wrestler? The whole thing kind of felt diminishing to me. Like, there's some kind of story somewhere in there. I don't think it was being told correctly, personally. And then you get to the main event. I love me some Drew McIntyre. I very much despise Seth Rollins. This match did not wow me. I was glad that they went with a quick finish, because I didn't want to have to go through another week of like, oh, he got it, oh, he kicked out. Oh, I mean, that's all right sometimes, but some weeks you want it to be just like, oh, nice, cool. Like, a little upset Seth got it, because that means Seth is going somewhere closer to a world championship, which I guess Seth versus Jay isn't that bad, but it's not my favorite thing in the world. Also, I'm broken that I can't watch SmackDown on Netflix here in America the same way. But I'm going to try to do something about that. We'll see how that goes. But ultimately, it was a pretty good show. I think if nothing else, it was good for the solidifying the matches and letting us know exactly what we're going to be seeing these coming weeks going forward. Really, really curious about that whole Becky Lynch situation. I want to know if she's going to come in at the end of the match this weekend on Saturday with Nia and Rhea after Rhea wins. I feel like that's probably the most opportune time if they're not going to wait till the Royal Rumble. I hope they don't wait and throw her in the Rumble just as cannon fodder, because then she'll make it to the end and either win it or just not win it. And I'm not the biggest fan of that being comebacks. Like, it works in the right times with the right people and creating the right storylines, but I don't feel that there's enough heat on Becky or like surrounding her return or anything. And we don't know what the contract was that she signed. Maybe it's just she'll show up randomly closer to some. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna have more questions after Saturday because this show, like I said, it lined up more of those matches for Saturday, and then Royal Rumble. Until we get a little closer, we're not gonna get that much to dig into. But like I said, great show overall. I probably give it a 3 out of 5 stars. That Penta versus Pete match, it gets your blood going, man. And it's hard to come back after that, though. I think they probably should have given that a main event slot and let them go a little longer, because those two guys could really, really go. But that's just me. Anyways, I'm gonna dig into NXT and SmackDown. It's gonna take a little longer. I gotta find other ways to watch them because I can't just watch it on Netflix. But yeah, I'll get to that eventually. And then for sure, Saturday, I'm gonna watch that PLE and try and get something uploaded as soon as that's done, because I'm extremely hyped for that. It's gonna be awesome. John Cena is supposed to be there. I don't know if he'll wrestle. I really, really hope he does, because come on, man, how can you have a return tour and not even wrestle one time? Also, next week, Logan Paul's coming back. It'll be his first Raw appearance on Netflix. And like I said, we have the World Tag Team Championships, so that'll be good fun. I'm really looking forward to that. I really like where we're going with JD and Dominic. Curious to see how long it'll be before Finn's back. That's another big question of mine. But let me know what you guys thought. Drop a like and subscribe. Put in the comment section your biggest questions, and we'll get back to you guys as soon as we can. Thank you all for sticking around with this. I love you guys, and thanks for watching IWTV.